Welcome back to Rock Forever. We've got a special edition for you. Our special guest, you know him as the guitarist and songwriter extraordinaire, founder of the group Hurricane, working with Jeff Tate's Queensryche and Operation Mindcrime, and a member of Diane and the Deductibles. Would you please welcome Robert SARZO?
Jay, it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Well, thanks for joining us. I know you're right on the water out there in Marina del Rey. For those that don't know, right in the middle of Los Angeles, just north of the LAX airport, is quite a marina. It seems hundreds, if not thousands, of boats out there, and quite a different life, you know, right here in the middle of one of the biggest cities in the world. But Robert, I know you go back to Cuba and Miami with your brother Rudy, and we've spoken many times over the years. We love what you've done. I even remind you and Kelly Hansen and everybody every time I talk to you guys that I saw you at remember the street scene? They had that big festival downtown LA, free to everybody in the early 80s. And I'm standing behind a tent and I hear these guys harmonizing, getting ready to go on stage. And I pull the little side of the tent open and it's Hurricane. You guys were about to hit the stage. Do you remember that festival, the street scene? They had like 10 stages every few blocks.
That was a fun festival.
Yeah, man. I couldn't believe
that was a really fun festival.
How great you guys sounded, you know, with the harmonies and everything. Obviously, your friend Kelly Hansen is now with Foreigner, and, you know, Jay Shellen out there with Yes and Asia and all that stuff. Quite a memory in the early 80s. Now, tell us, you know, as you come full circle here, I know you're working with Diane and the Deductibles. The album is 3 and made during the pandemic here. You know, I see Wynn Davis on here down in the South Bay, who, you know, famously worked with Dokken and Great White and all that. Talk about, you know, recording of this project. I see a few studios mentioned, Total Access, which of course is Wynn's place in Redondo, but Hybrid Studios in Orange County and Walnut Recording in El Segundo. How did this recording take place?
Well, we started writing, you see, I'm really good friends with Diane Adams, which is the band leader. This is, you know, her fun project. And I do, you know, fun projects besides my full-time projects, you know, like Hurricane and like, you know, Queensryche Jeff Tate was. And Diane just really, she's very passionate about writing music. So I've been getting together with her and the rest of the guys. So we went into that studio and it was really very well set up that he has there. A lot of, you know, as you know, a lot of great records have come out of there. So yeah, we just went there and recorded a lot of the tracks and then some, you know, they were finished, you know, at everybody else's time during the pandemic. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun working, you know, with Diane and everybody else in the group. You know, it's a fun little project.
Yeah, I saw you guys perform at the Rose out there in Pasadena probably a year and a half ago, obviously before the pandemic, but I'm trying to remember who was on the bill that night. But yeah, you guys had a nice set and always interested to, you know, promote independent artists. I know you have many projects of your own. Now, what's the songwriting process with this? Is Diane the main writer and you guys contribute ideas, or you guys get together for songwriting sessions? How does that work?
Well, Diane writes all the lyrics and all the melodies, and, you know, whoever comes up with an idea for, you know, for the music, throws it on the table, and then everybody starts chewing at it, basically, with the fork and knife, you know, just go at it and add spices and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how those songs came about.
Yeah, well, obviously the last year is different than any year, you know, before it, where we're all distanced and in mass. And I know, a lot of commercial businesses weren't open. Were there any unique challenges to making this during the pandemic?
Well, as for what? For writing or finishing the record or
I guess, yeah,
for which?
recording or just, finishing the
Right.
process, because
Oh,
it's harder for people to get
well,
together. And
well, we didn't get together. You got to follow the signs, and we did. And so there was no studio time. There was no getting together at all. So it's basically, just finishing things that were already organized. So this pandemic took us all by surprise, and it's not something that we were, prepared for. So yeah, but there's challenges, there's everyday challenges for everything, is how we deal with it, and you always get through it. You always make it happen. As long as you keep
yeah, well, it's
working at
encouraging
it.
that, things are starting to open up, out here in Southern California and parts of the country. It's, pretty amazing that, most of us have dealt with this pretty well, just adjusted accordingly. Obviously, the live music business is probably the most affected. Now, this album is called Three. How many projects have you contributed to? What came prior to this? Is this the third album, or what's the significance of three?
Well, if you go backwards, I believe it was two. It's just, yeah. Oh, and yeah, that's what it was. Um, and then she did another one that I didn't, I was not involved. It's kind of, it seems like a long time ago. I do this full time, so many things. They're always at the moment. I try to stay at the moment and towards the future. So bear with me as you asking me questions about the past.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, no problem. We're just trying to get a little history on it. Like I said, I've seen you guys perform live, and we're enjoying the music. We encourage everybody to go to the website, Diane&theDeductibles.com. You can, gain access to the CD and any other information on the group, and as live shows open up. Robert, thanks for all the information. We're looking forward to getting the word out on the album.
yeah, it's a good sounding album. It was produced by Andy Zuckerman, and I believe that he did a great job. Sounds great, and Andy also mixed it. So yeah, check it out, pick it up. Some good songs in there.